to the question about how could you pay your students, I struggle.
Couldn't answer
So
it.
some of my answers may be like, that's so lame. But I don't know, I couldn't come. One of them's awesome, but
Okay, I'll keep
the
that in
rest of
mind.
them, I don't know, I just feel like I was like, I don't know, I tried, but
Well,
not sure.
and sometimes, as a director, if you're really trying to find a way to hook something to the point of like grabbing it, you know, then maybe you're right. Maybe it's not the right thing. We talked the first day about loving repertoire, loving what you have to, you know, that's a big piece. So if you don't love it,
I mean,
not always
there
the
were
best
that
programming
about it.
but if your school has had a tradition of it already, you might have to figure out what to do.
You can think about Madrigals as one possibility within your, purview as a director, and you think about how that can relate to everything else. You will be asked to do specific events. You will be asked, it's likely that you will host events of some kind, and just by going through this, even if it's specific to Madrigals, it just gives, perhaps, my hope, a framework of looking at, say I'm doing something else, putting on some other kind of a program or doing this, how can I let this inform what I'm doing there? Say I decide to do a dinner theater instead, or they have a history of I don't know, you name it. There's a lot of things that choir directors are asked to do that are not musical, specifically only musical type things. So you have to be prepared to use those resources, build connections to other things. I was thinking something. Oh, right. If you choose, and I think it's great, if you choose to do Madrigals, you have to make sure that your ensemble will not spend so much time working on the music that they get lost in it. You have to have an ensemble that can do this work a little bit. If you want to introduce one, I would say like you do one piece, in the mix of your repertoire, and then if you start to notice that it takes hold, then maybe the next year, but your ensemble has to have a certain level of proficiency to be able to do this, or else they're like sludging through it to get to an event. That's not worth it. You were saying 2 rehearsals, Tim? Yeah. So you want to keep it a very, you don't want it to be a labor-intensive experience for them, or else then they start to lose the benefit of why you're doing it. My ensembles typically do, you might have 5 or 6 songs on the concert, the winter concert or so for this particular group, and they're just night and day from each other, I might have a spiritual, I might have something from the Renaissance, I might have something from Romantic era, a Broadway standard. I mean, it's just, February is your best time to hold an event. Those are quiet months. The other time is great is spring, but if you look at your April schedule, mine is already starting to book in April right now. And April is also like, you start getting into religious celebrations for kids, and it just gets really crazy. So winter is a great time. It's quiet. I would suggest that you're going to do an event then. Notice I'm trying to talk broadly about events too, because you will have events likely. Madrigals tend to take place during the Christmas season, so you want to have it closer there if you are doing a madrigal. So you're going to need some form of space, and you're going to need some volunteers. And English or drama teachers, those folks. And this is exactly what Emily, David, and Jess, and who's Kinsey in that group too? You guys are talking about advertising and all of those things. If this starts making your head swim, that's because it's a swim book. But anything that requires tickets and press and that kind of thing, really well planned in advance. Well in advance. Okay, so how are you going to set up the room? Who's going to deal with the setup? Are you going to be really good friends with the maintenance person at your school? Right? Are you going to have a set of students involved with the setup? How's the food going to be handled? All of this is in the end, the choral director, if this is an event that you choose to host, in the end, the choral director is the last, the person who has to make sure all those ties are sealed, tied up. Program booklet is a great idea. Keep in mind, printing costs money. So if you can find a local printer, and those, by the way, I think are kind of going out of fashion. I don't even know local printing is probably not happening as much anymore, but you can find someone to donate and do it in kind. That means they just do it for free. That's great. Costumes. Is there a costume shop at your school? Can you use them? Does that mean you have to dry clean them after? If you do, how much is that going to cost your program?